Smooch again. All right, let's talk today about how you're probably bombarded with so many videos and maybe even email just spamming the crap out of you about so many different opportunities. But mostly I see it on YouTube where it's like, well, do Amazon KDP, write all these dumb nothing books that you produce with Chat GPT or Claude or whatever. And then there's the other one. I mean, there's so many things like, oh, go back to MLM somehow. And people are still telling you to go do Amway when that's been exposed as like some kind of pyramid scam forever. There's still people out there doing Melaleuca. I mean, if you're making money from it, more power to you, but I don't know anybody who is. And there's so many like make $5 million in 2 minutes. Well, I'll show you how, and they don't show you anything. I'm not saying that $1 million secrets should be revealed in free videos on YouTube, but we just get bombarded with all of these how to get rich quick or how to start your own business. And then Cody Sanchez has been preaching, well, just buy a laundromat forever. And then she goes and sells her own laundromat that she supposedly had or whatever it was. I saw something online the other day, but I didn't click on it. But I'm just so exhausted with the amount of videos, and I've disliked so many or been like, don't recommend this channel or this video to me so that I could get them all out of my feed because I was tired of seeing all these, well, how I made money, how I made $11,000 last month, or how I made $30,000 in a day. And none of them ever really tell you anything. Or somehow they made some special stand store or they had a digital product they made that made them rich. Great. And I'm not saying that you can't make a digital product that can make you rich. Maybe you have something special and you can market it correctly and it'll take off for you. I'm not doing this video to be discouraging, but if you are like me and you are sick to death of the YouTube and email bombardment and been brought all over Instagram too and everywhere else about how to, even if it's not a get rich quick, it's, oh, how I started my own business and still made, tens of thousands of dollars. And again, they don't really tell you anything, or they want to sell you $1,000 worth system or way or whatever. And again, I'm not saying don't invest in yourself. If you really want to do something along the lines of what that person's doing, see, there is a woman, she's a coach and she is online and she does crafting and she has a really successful crafting business. And she does teach people how to start their own crafting business. And of course, she has a course. So, like, if it makes obvious logical sense, sure. And you want to do that, and that's a business that you want to start, and you need a coach and you need help, then go pay for the program. Things like that make sense. But and I have paid for different programs, and I'm in the middle of one right now for something that I do want to do. And I'm not saying there's no value in it. I'm saying there is, but you have to be very discerning and very determined about what you want to do because you will just look across the internet and people will have you, like I said, building these stupid Chat GPT produced Amazon KDP books of garbage, or oh, they're like make millions with children's coloring books. Okay, maybe, and it's not that Chat GPT or another GPT can't come up with cute coloring book templates and things and help you to do all that, but then you still have to market it. You still have to put it out there. And then some people are like, oh, print on demand t-shirts. I mean, that's been done 5 million times over. In fact, I owned a print on demand t-shirt, well, in sweatshirt and different things like that shop that was specific to the state that I live in. But that was back quite a few years when there were only like 5 competitors. Well, me and 4 competitors, really. So I started that business when there was no competition, but then because of COVID, things blew up. And then now, today, I mean, I closed that business down after a couple years. Today, there's like 20 something competitors in that niche. in a state, so with like state-based clothing. So there's only so much you can do when you have that much competition, and you have to look at the reality of something. And then there's all the other ones like, oh yeah, start a vending machine company. Again, might work for you if you can put everything in place properly. There's so many things that could work, but they may not work. And what I want, the point of this video was to talk to you about, what are your skills today? What can you do today? What have you done in your life? What could you bring forth and bring to a business, or parlay into part-time work, or do some contract work, some kind of temp work, or remote work online, or whatever? Just what could you do to make an income, but be realistic by using a skill that you already have? And that's sort of what I'm putting together for myself right now. Is after I left my career, I'm fine with it. I'm so glad to not be in that toxic environment. But now I have to think, oh, what are all the skills that I have that are marketable and usable? Or what have I done and what have I learned? What have I paid for and learned something and could do something with it? So, like I'm a notary. Well, there's lots of different things that I could do as a notary that might pay me something. And so I'm trying to brush up on some of the skills for that. And then again, you still have to market yourself because you're a business. So it's not just I build it and they come, this is not Field of Dreams. You have to have solid skills and then solid marketing behind it, unless you are working for somebody else and you're doing 1099 contract work in part-time pieces, and you're kind of just piecing together an income, which is, again, fine and probably more realistic. I would say some of the channels that you might want to watch, rather than the get rich off of all these other things that you've never done before and you don't really have the skills for, and you wonder, can I learn the skills, or is this even a thing I'm interested in? Is to go to different remote work from home jobs, YouTube channels. Today, there are legitimate YouTube channels that have all kinds of opportunities that the person gathers for you and points out. Usually they do like 3 to 4 per day in their videos. And if you subscribe to them enough, different channels, I've been looking, and, I'll apply to 1 or 2 jobs a week. It just depends. And it's difficult because of what I'm trying to do. I'm moving down a lot. So I have to convince people that, oh, I stepped away from my position in my job and I want to work part-time now doing XYZ. So it's, do they believe me? And do they want to hire me? Will they give me this contract position? Will they hire me for a part-time job or whatever? So I'm still applying to these things, but at least there are legitimate leads, rather than you go on LinkedIn and you're just in a sea of, oh, 200 people already applied for this position, if you didn't get it on, day 1, hour 1, minute 1. So, and I'm not so sure that a quote job is my future, and maybe you're at that point too, where you're like, a job is just yuck, you just dread it. But at the same time, you don't want to necessarily open a laundromat, or go do vending machines, or make KDP, GPT produced books that nobody's going to buy. So it's, again, look at your skill set. Did you maybe coach someone in some way in the past, or were you involved with sports? Because maybe you could be hired for private tutoring or private coaching. Today, there's a lot of kids in high school sports who need private coaching, to get better at their sport. Maybe you could do that if you were involved in something along the way throughout your whole either career, or maybe back in college or whatever. It's just, okay, look at the skill set that you have. Look at your whole career and what did you do for a living? And like break it up into pieces and parts, though. Don't just say, well, I was an engineer, so that's all I can do. Or I was this. It's like, okay, well, what parts of that job, what skills were there? What types of, that you might be able to transform into something else? Because I worked in so many different types of environments and different jobs for large, a good span of years across my career, I could just go do some administrative work, which is fine. Nothing exciting, but at the same time, it could be an income stream. And I could possibly do it remotely because there's a lot of remote administrator jobs, or I could become a virtual assistant, which today isn't as easy as they say, because you could throw yourself into one of those virtual assistant. There's websites where people will go hire you, but then you're kind of putting yourself in a pool of thousands upon thousands of people, and will your profile be seen? And then you have to pay for your profile to be seen more. So it is almost like you're running a business of you. You are your business. So take all these things into consideration, but definitely look at your full skill set. Sit down and list it all out. List out any possible skill you've ever, I don't care whether it's a hobby or something you did in your career or an interest of you or whatever it is, but something that you can actually do today, like today. Not, I want to do this tomorrow, so I'm going to take a class to learn it. Or I'm going to, like I said, all those goofy YouTube videos that are just going to waste your time. I can't tell you how many I've watched and wasted my time. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm not wasting my time anymore with these clickbait titles and watching one creator after another do the same thing to their audience. So, I've stumbled across a few people on the internet, on YouTube, who will give you a real clue, or they'll tell you and instruct you in real things that you can do. But for the majority of the people you'll find, they're selling a course, and I'm not blaming them for that, but it's just like, am I really going to be able to do what you're doing? Are you really going to teach me to replicate this? And then I'm going to, pay thousands of dollars to find this out in your course. You got to vet these people a lot better. So definitely go and read all the reviews that you can about their products. But again, look at your own skills and then decide how you're going to piece together an income from it. If you're not going back to the job market, or the standard job market where you have one job and that's your full-time job. So I just wanted to have a quick chat about that today, because it's something that's hit me hard, where, like I said, I really made a concerted effort to get all of those channels out of my feed, because I was so sick and tired of looking at all just the scams. Some of them are non-stop scams. Their whole entire channel is about selling this program or product, and it's really not going to help you. So some of them will and some of them won't. And it's just, you'll waste so much time, though, vetting it and sorting through it. So just don't even bother with it. Take the skills that you have today and do something with them. Okay? All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.